All right, hi there, Wade again. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the onChange event and how cool this one is. So to get started here, I just have a basic SwiftUI app using Mac Playgrounds. You can follow along using your iPad or your Mac. I haven't done anything to it. It's got the default code, which we'll remove in just a moment. But if you're following along, you can start right here and just pause the video along the way, and you should be able to just follow right along. So the onChange event is really neat. The onChange event is something where we can set it to pay attention to a value, like a variable, and anytime that variable changes, it will redraw a portion of the app. So we're going to set it to a stack view, for instance, and any time that a value changes, it will redraw that stack view, and you'll see what happens with the views that are inside of it, okay? So let's follow along here. Let me make myself smaller, and let's get rid of this V stack. We're actually going to just have a little fun. I'm going to use a Z stack instead. But we need a state variable. First thing we're going to do is in the content view, but outside of the body, we're going to do @state var, and we're just going to use one called number, and we'll set it equal to 0 to start out with. Okay. In the body, let's use a Z stack. Now you have vertical stacks, you have horizontal stacks, and a Z stack is like setting views on top of each other. So this will be fun to do. It's going to line our number and our stepper up just right. You'll see what happens in just a moment. So a Z stack, let's open that up, and let's use a stepper. We haven't used one of those yet. So here's a stepper, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open it up. There's a lot of stepper code that you could set up. We're going to step through it like manually to get started with here. So I'm going to create a stepper and open it up. We're not going to give it any value for a title. We don't need that. But the value that we are going to bind it to is our number variable, okay? So you'll see value, and it's a binding, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a value, and you know, when we do a binding, we use a $ and whatever variable we want to bind it to, right? And we have a number, so we're going to use that. Now you'll see in our preview we have our stepper that shows up right here, and this will increment and decrement as we press these buttons, right? Let's go ahead and also set a text view right here, and let's have the text view display whatever the value is for number, for our variable number, okay? And notice that it sets it right next to it. If we were using a V stack, it would put the number under the stepper. If we were using an H stack, it would put it next to it, but it'd be a little different. It would look different. So this is how we set this up. That's why I used a Z stack. Okay, now that we have this, let's go ahead and give the Z stack some padding. Okay, looks good. That gets the stepper off of the wall there, and we should be good to go. So let's use the onChange event. So here it is, onChange, and there's a number of different ones. We're going to use this one right here, this of, action, equatable. We're going to use this one right here. So equatable, what does that mean? Equatable is going to be like the variable that we want to pay attention to when to trigger onChange, okay? So what we want to trigger is anytime that the variable number is changed, we want the onChange event to trigger. So we're going to set it to number. And then right here, you'll see that this looks very familiar. It just has the words equatable in it, but this is a closure. So if I hit enter, you'll see that it sets it up nicely for us. So it gives me access to the old value that the stepper was set to, and the new value that it was set to as well. So in here, let's just have some fun. Let's do a print sequence, and let's have it print the number now is equal to, and we're just going to set it to the new value, right? And we have these accessible to us. These are the variables that it's giving us that we can now use within the closure. So we're going to use the new value. It's of type int, which makes sense because it's coming from this number. New value. Okay. I have my console log open so we can see print statements as it happens. So let's press the stepper and see what happens in code. If I press the 1, notice that the 1 happens in text. So when I press the stepper, the value was increased and it set it to the number 1. That's what a stepper does. And then when that happened, the text was updated to whatever was at number, which is 1 now. If we go to 2, you'll see 2. But also notice what happens that since the number value was changed, the onChange event is looking for that. And anytime the number value changes, it's going to run this line of code in here. And it says print, the number now equals the new value. And so you'll see number now was 1 the first time I hit it. Number now is 2. If I hit it again, it's 3. If I hit the minus, it goes back to 2. Pretty cool, right? So just because we have the value there, let's also do a print statement here. And let's do the number used to be, and the number used to equal, and let's do again string interpolation, and let's use the old value. Now let's see what happens when we hit plus. The number still goes up as normal, but the print statement now says the number used to, okay, the number used to be. Let me do that, and I'll hit the stepper one more time. Okay, the number used to be 0, now the number equals 1. If I hit plus, the number used to be 1, now the number equals 2. And if I hit back, or decrement, the number used to be 2, now the number equals 1. So anytime that this value is changed, the onChange event is triggered and the code is ran inside of it. So this is really neat. If you had somebody, for instance, like change this, maybe like if the stepper goes up to a certain score, maybe you want to show a high score or continue or good job or something like that. This is how you could start verifying it. Maybe they had to get the stepper to the right number, and you could have an if statement in here that was like, if the number equals a certain number, then print this in a text field or what have you. So the possibilities are endless, and this is just yet another event that you have access to. And you set, and one last thing is you set the onChange to whatever view you want to be redrawn. So the Z stack is getting redrawn when the onChange is triggered, right? So that's why I set it to the Z stack. So that is the onChange event. I hope you have fun with it, play around with it, and I will see you in the next event video. All right, bye.